Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Maxa back in the studio with us. And Mr. Pat McDonell from Western Outdoor News talking all kinds of great fishing and talking about the new One Big Fish Challenge that's just getting started here in June. And a lot of fish to be caught.
Boy, lots of good fishing going on right now. So much to talk about today, and we want to hear from you. Let's talk about it, man. There's good fishing going on, good questions being asked already. It's just going to be a great show. Really looking forward to the second hour. And if you want to join us, we want to hear from you. 2 ways you can be a part of Let's Talk Hookup this morning. First, you can give us a call on our local line. That's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's the local number. Or call us toll-free. Toll-free line is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. And as we said at the beginning of the show, not only are we talking all kinds of great info, giving away a phenomenal prize. One lucky caller at the end of the show today is going to win a brand new pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. The Bamboo Forest, an awesome pair of Maui Jims. It has that olive fade frame. The lens is that great Maui HT lens in the Maui Pure, super light, super clear, awesome pair of glasses from Maui Jim, the Bamboo Forest. And with that, it's time to find out what's biting. Today, the Catch Report is sponsored by the Sato Crimp and Winder Company, where they only make products that work. If you want to end connection failures, you need to get that Sato Crimp Kit. It's a must-have piece of gear for your trip to help you catch everything from school-size tuna to record-size tuna. With all brass crimps and other features, it's better than ever. It's the favorite connection method on the Royal Star, the Royal Polaris, the American Angler, and most of the other top boats. And if you haven't already, you should make it your preferred connection for Spectra de Fluorocarbon or Spectra de Mono. Get it at selected tackle stores like Fisherman's Lining Tackle or at SatoCrimpandWinder.com.
All right, Captain Mark Wish from Pacific Edge with our FishDope.com report. Oh, boy, Catalina is on, huh?
We got some fish dope for you guys, man.
I'll bet you do.
Thank goodness. But so it's really nice. We're kicking off the unofficial start to summer in fine style here, Memorial Day weekend, of course, with nice weather for a change.
And there's probably nobody at Catalina this weekend.
It's empty.
Yeah,
desert.
Nobody there.
Been ridiculous.
Wide open moorings, everything. Yeah.
Just go sign up in moorings. Yeah, everybody go to moorings and stay off where we're going. But, yeah, it's nice weather, which is good for Memorial Day, and some good fishing in multiple zones. So let me just touch on what happened up north there. They've seen some good signal on that yellow and sea bass at Anacapa, and quite a bit of squid showing up that way. So with the better weather, they'll be able to spread out, check some other areas there. But quite a bit of fish, and you will not have a problem finding the area. Lots of boats. And Catalina, still good fishing this week. A little slower on the sea bass, but still some good signal. Mostly deeper water out there on the base grounds, and mostly at night, guys. Nighttime, yes, you lose some sleep, but oh well. And mostly big ones, so use good gear and test those knots. It's so sad to lose a good one right there at the gaff because your dropper loop not busted. Backside east and backside west, definitely got some fish, and definitely they got some boats. There's also been a big influx that nicer grade yellowtail all over the island, both on the bait grounds, and there's been some night bites on those yellowtail also. Backside east, backside west, same set up there. But front sides also, the structure spots on the front's got some of that nice grade yellowtail mixed in with those old 4-pounders. It's fun stuff. And the best news, I think, for Catalina is that more barracuda moved in this week, and hopefully that stuff swims over here and helps our local bite out a little bit. We like to see them barracudas at San Clemente. Good signal on the yellows there at the island. It really loaded up, scattered all up and down the front there in the cove, around the corner, up the backside, out there on Desperation Reef. There's some of that nicer grade yellow on all that spots, some bait fish, some jig fish. Pretty good fishing. And then offshore, oh, my God, guys, here we go. This is where it gets really interesting. All week long, I've been getting reports and pics from my friends fishing down there, chasing them bluefins around, good ones. And it's in the skiff zone right outside the islands there, 302, 371, 425, 101 like that. You know, it's all 25, 35 miles from the point. Not so bad. And then last night I'm talking to Danny, and he tells me the fish dope plane got up yesterday. Just take a little look around, a little sachet out there. Oh, man. You guys got to go to Fish Dope and check out the pictures of the schools of big bluefin with scattered yellowfin mixed in with them. Absolutely awesome. And then just about when I'm falling asleep last night, you know, I'm just kind of mellowing out from all the interesting stuff that had been happening yesterday evening. I get a text from my friend Jamie with some pics from yesterday of some tanker-grade bluefin from those schools down there, all on the iron. This is made-to-order skiff fish, and the skiffs are doing much better than the big boats on this stuff. It's run-and-gun fishing at its finest, and what a fantastic way to start summer, and it's not even summer yet. It's still May.
Unbelievable fishing right now. It's still May, and what's to come? Oh, boy, we're looking forward to what's to come. I can tell you that. Hey, Mark, before we talk about Fish Dope, I want to ask you your preferred dropper loop knot. How do you tie it? If guys are going to Catalina, like you say, you hook that 50-pounder, man, you got to have the right knot, right?
Oh, we could do a whole show on that, and I've seen so much frustration for guys because they tie that old funky dropper loop blood knot thing, and most times it's not even tied right, and it's about a 10% knot, you know. It is horrible. So my preferred knot, I make a long loop, like a 4-foot long loop, and I tie a 4-turn surgeon's knot. So we make a loop with a 4-turn surgeon's.
About the easiest knot in the world.
Easiest knot in the world, but there's a couple keys to tying it. You have to leave a long tag end. So when you're pulling the knot, you got both lines coming out of the knot one way. That makes the loop, and then you got your main line, the standing line, and the tag end coming out the other way. So you got to pull all 4 of those evenly, all at the same time. You know, kind of pull the knot up a little bit, get it symmetrical, wet it, and then pull hard to set it. You can't pull it a little bit and then, I need to pull it some more and then try to do it. That weakens it. You got to just like snap it into place. And perfectly tied, it makes a beautiful barrel-shaped knot. It's stronger than hell. I cut the tag end off and then I split the loop and tie the hook on one side and the sinker on the other, depending on what we're doing.
Okay, so you split the loop. You don't use the tag end for the sinker.
I don't use the tag end. You can tie the sinker on the tag end and tie the hook to the loop if you want. I don't like to do that. I just cut the tag end off and split the loop. And I'm telling you, guys, I've spent a lot of time on the water, and I'm just queer for tying knots right. It just drives me nuts, especially when I was running charters, to have, guys lose fish for bad knots. Yeah. And I tested every knot known to man to get what we wanted for our dropper loop fishing for yellows and sea bass and big halibut at the islands. And that one, hands down, bar none, properly tied, is the best knot ever. It's just strong.
And it's easy. And here's the other thing I've seen, Mark, that always amazes me. The people that do use the tag end for the sinker, and then they loop the hook onto the double line.
You don't want to do that.
Unless you're fishing for rock cod that don't pull,
if you're
right?
Fishing for rock cod or fishing for wing cod or something, like whatever. But if you're finesse fishing, I mean, to me, I want every tiny percentage slanted in my favor. So I would rather have the hook on one single, strand of 40-pound waving around down there than waving around the loop. And that's just me.
Yeah, but if you loop the hook with the knot like you would for a rock cod, and you don't tie a knot in that double line, you're going to lose a big fish. It's going to break.
You can, yeah. They get tangled up in that loop. And, over the years of doing this, you see just about everything go wrong that can possibly go wrong. And even stuff you don't even think can go wrong does sometimes. And I just like to minimize all that. So that's my suggestion, guys, that 4-turn surgeon's loop, and
split it.
Pull it down properly. You have to wet it. Pull both ends coming out of the knot evenly at both times, firmly, and then it's a beautifully barrel-shaped knot when it's properly tied.
All right. That's a good one, Mark. And, of course, fishdope.com has a lot of great tips on it, as well as some amazing shots from the plane. I wonder if Ali was flying the plane.
Those pictures are spectacular.
Yeah, spectacular spots
of
big tuna on fishdope.com. it's worth the price of admission just for the photos, right?
Absolutely.
But the other bonus you get is where they are and how to go catch them on fishdope.com. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now, small letters, lowercase, no space. And where do we find you, Mark?
Well, you're going to find me at the islands the next couple of days, but today I'm going to be, we're going to be in the store there, Bolsa Chica and Edinger, Huntington Beach, phone number 714-840-4262. We're leaving early today because we're going fishing.
What's the up and outs of where we're going to find you at the island there, Mark?
What's that? You're breaking up.
Thanks, Mark. We'll talk to you
We're
next
going
week.
elsewhere. We're not. I'm going to go to Catalina tonight, make some bait, and then we're going to take a little road trip.
Thanks,
right.
Mark.
Have a great trip, Mark. Safe travels, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
All right.
I think we're going to have some good stories.
Okay,
I think you're right. All right. Well, let's head on down to San Diego, over to Seaforth Sport Fishing, and talk to our good buddy Marcos. Marcos, what's going on at Seaforth?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Well, it looks like yesterday the San Diego really got back on those yellowtail. They had one of the better days they've had in a while. 27 anglers had 96 yellowtail.
Woo.
And those fish are all in that 15 to 25-pound range.
Ooh.
Folks said they're biting on yo-yos, surface irons, live bait. You know, you got a good chance on all of those. And, you know, it's nice. They're lots of fish, and they're catchable fish, so definitely a good trip there. They're back down there this morning. Hopefully not too much traffic, and they can get back into those fish. And then on the half day, you know, the New Seaforth is having some really, really good rock fishing, and it's not necessarily as glamorous as that yellowtail fishing, but, I mean, yesterday morning, 41 anglers had 196 rockfish, 31 reds. Afternoon, 26 anglers had 120 rockfish, 22 reds. So some great bottom fishing on there, and it's been going that way for 2-3 weeks here now. And like I said, you know, yellowtail are nice to have fallen there, but if you're just having some people over, having a barbecue, want to make some fish tacos, you can't really beat what they're doing on there right now. So definitely check the website, seaforthlanding.com. Those half days are up there. The twilights, starting next week, we're expanding those twilights out a bit, so we have a few more options. The 3/4 days on the San Diego. We'll probably start putting some 1 days and day and a half on here soon. Like you said, there's some good fishing out there, so it starts picking up there after the holidays here. I'm sure we'll put those up. Lots of options. seaforthlanding.com. You can make reservations straight up there. Call us at the office, 619-224-3383. You can always come down and visit us in person. Stop by the restaurant and have your Rock Cod Rick breakfast burrito.
There you go, the Rock
like
Cod
that
Rick
idea.
breakfast burrito. You're making me hungry, Marcos.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You want me to go order one for you?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
I'll have it waiting.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot for that,
Thanks,
and we will
Marcos.
talk to you next Sunday.
We'll talk to you then, guys.
All right, Rick Jensen from Sport Fishing Financial is doing field research, as we call it, down in the northern Baja. He'll have a full report for us next week, and that's our catch report today.
Right, got it, man. That's going to wrap it up today. Again, announcing Yamaha Outboard's Wake Up the Season sales event for a limited time from now through June 15th. Purchase a select eligible new Yamaha 4-stroke outboard, and it'll come with a $500 in dealer credit towards the purchase of additional goods and services. Reliability starts here. Yamaha. Visit your nearest Yamaha Outboard dealer today for more details.
Indeed, you have a chance to win a pair of Bamboo Forest Maui Jim sunglasses, and one line open, 877-792-1090. Let's jump into the phones.
You got it, man. How about we talk to Charlie, who's calling us from Gardena this morning. Hi, Charlie. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning, Charlie.
How's it going over there?
Great.
Hey, Rick, I had a question for you about Shimano products, but first I wanted to ask you, how hard was it to leave Hawaii?
It wasn't easy, man. I can tell you that much, Charlie. It was pretty tough.
That's hard. Anyway, I'd like to know, which Shimano product do you recommend for 20-pound and what braid size?
My favorite 20-pound reel, for sure, is a Trinidad 14A. I love it. It's a light reel. It's very small. It fits in your hand. The free spool is incredible. It's a really good anchovy reel. But should you hook, a yellowfin, a bluefin, or something, like we were saying, it's got the power to deal with it. So that would be my favorite, a Trinidad 14A.
All right, Rick, thanks a lot. You have a good day.
Thanks, Charlie. Good luck. Appreciate it. How about next up we talk to Gus. He's calling us from Burbank this morning. Hi, Gus. Welcome to the show.
Yo, you guys.
Hey, what's up, Gus?
I am a subscriber to Western Outdoor News and have been for a long, long time.
Great. Thank you.
I just wanted to know, because I get it on Thursday in Burbank here. And I was wondering, when is the E-edition available?
It's available on Tuesday midday, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Something like that. That's when we're able to get it up there. There's a little bit of work we have to do to post it up there. But, and you get both North and the South editions, and it's in full color. And you can actually, there's some great aspects to it as well. You can actually look.
Do you download it, or you just look at it right on the website?
You look at it right on the website.
Wow.
It's a flip page. It comes up kind of weird blank and has a little arrow to the right, and then you just click on it, and boom, it comes up, and then you can just flip right through the pages, and then you can expand them.
Amazing color.
Yeah, amazing color. And then, and all the supplements, and it's also easy access to archives. Spend about 10 minutes on it, and you'll be thinking, well, I'm just going to take the digital edition because it's real easy to read. And, it's great. I love it.
Fantastic. Gus, thanks a lot for the phone call.
How about one more?
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Oh, Ricky, you described your preference for casting iron for bluefin, and I wanted to know, on the Trinidad 20A, do you like to toss iron using mono, or do you like to use the braided line?
That's a really good question, and I still prefer a full-length top shot of mono.
For throwing surface iron.
For throwing surface iron. There are definitely times when I fish straight braid, and when I do, I fish 65, and I'm even starting to fish 80-pound Power Pro, and I like to fish it on that Tranks. If we're fishing kelp line for yellowtail or area where, you need a kelp cutter type rig. But for me, I still just can't. I got too big of a fear of firing off a good 7X or a good 45 and breaking one off on the cast. So I'm still a long mono top shot guy. I like a full cast length of 40-pound mono and then a Power Pro below that.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Captain Buzz Brisbane from the Prowler. What's up, Buzz?
Hey, good morning, Pete, Rick, and got Pat on there too, I hear. So that's great. We've been chasing basically non-biting bluefin from 20 to 100 pounds since daylight. But we just had a double jig strike here chasing a spot on the sonar, and it was yellowfin tuna of all things on Memorial Day weekend.
How about that?
How cool, Buzz.
Great.
That was pretty cool. So that's good sign. It's just not bite time yet, but boy, the resource we've got here close at hand is really something.
Wow, that's awesome. Fantastic. And it's close to home. Are you on a one-day trip, Buzz?
We're on a day and a half, so we get to fish till dark, and some of the sundowners here of late have been pretty good on that nicer sized bluefin.
How amazing is this grade of bluefin that's available to us in the one-day range right now, too?
It's something. I mean, it's fun just to watch.
I'll bet, Buzz. Well, that's awesome news that the yellowfin are making their appearance and obviously biting.
A little bit, yeah. So, anyway, I just thought that the yellowfin was kind of noteworthy. We're doing day and a half salt. Got several of them scheduled. You can call Fisherman's Landing at 619-221-8500 and get all the info.
All right, and, of course, you can book online on the Prowler, too. Captain Buzz Brisbane from the Prowler, thanks for calling us on the water, on the spots of bluefin and yellowfin, and keep getting them, Buzz. Hope they come up and bite for you.
All right, have a good day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
How about that, huh?
So cool.
Make you want to be there right now?
Right this second.
Yeah,
right
after
this
you
second.
look at those pictures on Fish Dope and you hear Buzz talking about spots of bluefin all over the place, it's like, well, let's go fishing.
20 to 100 pounders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
Well, the phones are getting, actually, it's probably our first time we've had an open phone line since the beginning of the show. If you want to get through, this would be a really good time on our local number. It's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. First time we've had an open in quite a bit. That's a great chance to get through. Ed in Mira Mesa, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Ed.
Hi, guys. My question's for Pat. You've mentioned the Northern Edition. How far north do you guys go? Do you go up into Washington, Oregon?
No. Well, Oregon, we mainly the rivers, the Chetco River, that sort of thing. But so we don't get too much into Oregon. We've got so many other lakes in California. There's, it's difficult to get them all. But so yeah, I would say just the Chetco is about as far up as we go into the Oregon area. If there's albacore and that kind of thing, when it starts to kick in, and it does, we'll report on that, something significant. But we pretty much stay on this side of the border in terms of lakes and that kind of thing, and sport fishers.
Always good coverage on the Delta, all the bass tournaments that go on up there. I know.
We got some really good. Yeah, we got some really good reporters out there for the rivers now and for the Delta. Really good specific how-to and where-to information from those areas. So we're pretty excited about that coverage. And, of course, the digital edition, you can get that. If you get the Southern California paper, you go to the digital edition. You really can't get the print edition of the Northern California, but you can get it digitally by going to wonews.com and putting in your code on your little label you get. That's your code. And of course, you can also get the digital edition by itself for $24 a year without the print. So, yeah. So we're catching some good fish up there, and the reports are fantastic from the guys. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. You know, in addition to the Big Fish Challenge that starts in June, you have another tournament that's coming in June, right?
Oh yeah. You know, we have 4 sport fishing related type events. There's 2 rockfish Channel Islands, and there's the Ventura tournament coming up here in about 2 weeks. But and then we have the challenge coming up, the 10-week derby. But we also have what is unique. It's in its second year. Is the San Diego Offshore Jackpot, which is at H&M Landing, and it is a one-day tournament. It's a one-day event, and it's like $260 for the boat. And there's 12 boats out of H&M Landing. It's the biggest sport fishing tournament, really, one-day tournament on the coast. And last year it was 3 boats. This year it's 12 out of H&M Landing. So Franker City and those guys have really come forward. And so there's $6,500 in cash. So divided up 3 different ways. I mean, the top guy gets like 80% or 70%, and then it comes down to like 20 and then 10. And then we have prizes and when they come back. So there's 300 anglers on these 3 boats, and I think there's still some spots. I'm going to be on the Ocean Odyssey. We've got 2 other riders on the other ones, and so we're going to be covering this thing as a regular event. And so it's really cool. It's developed into something. Connor Johnson at Western Outdoor News kind of organized this with Franker City. We've had a lot of fun. We had a captain's meeting, if you want to call it, over at the Stone Brewery in San Diego, and I'm not sure how much we got accomplished, but we sure drank a lot of beer. Yeah, I mean, Chuck Taft and those guys, and oh my God, it was just it was a ball. And these guys are just so much fun, and there's some trash talking going on among who's going to win. So it's biggest fish on the boat, and then it's going to be first, second, third of biggest 3 fish among the 12 boats. So there's not only the jackpots on the boats, but also the first, second, and third place winners. And there's a ton of prizes in addition to the cash, and so it's going to be a big crowd there on the June 30th. We get on the boats on June 30th, and we fish on July 1st. So I'm going to be down there. I'll be covering the event, and Connor will be running it with Frank, and it's going to be just a fun event. I think there's still some spots on the boats, not too many. I think there's probably about 50 or so spots left on the bank, and the fishing is just off the charts. So if you're having trouble getting on a boat right now, and you're going to have a hard time getting on boats, the yellowtail and the bluefin fishing, off the charts right now. So we're pretty excited about the fact that the fishing is so good, and this event is coming up. And it's the biggest charter boat one-day tournament on the coast, and it's going to be a blast.
All right, and you can read about it in Western Outdoor News.
Read about Western Outdoor News. You can go to H&M's website, hmlanding.com, and you can sign up for the charters on that website, on the H&M Landing website. So it's going to be June 30th getting on the boat, fishing July 1st. Going to be a good time.
All right, very good. 858-457-1090, open right now. If you want to get through, there is your chance.
All right, Jonathan in Venice, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Great.
I had a question for Pat. You were talking about if you get the digital Western Outdoor News, you can have archives. How far back do those archives go?
We go back about 2 years, maybe. 2 years, I believe. Yeah, so I think we've been doing it for about 2 years now.
Like, how could you find, let's say, old copies of, like, Last El Nino, like 97? Is there no way of finding those?
No, we got them in hard copies somewhere in the warehouse, in the old dusty warehouse. We don't want people digging through them anyhow. But we have files, Western Outdoor News, that go back about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and then we have we have archived books that we have, bound copies that we keep in the office all the way back to 1953. 1953.
So if you stop,
the paper was born when I was born.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny how I've ended up in this job. And 32 years later, but people say, "Oh yeah, how long have you been in the paper?" I go, "Well, not as long as it's been around, but I was born in 1954, which makes me 60, almost 62 now, guys." But the paper was actually started in 1953 it was called it was an experiment. The first one, it was the green sheet, and then the first issue came out in 1954. So, yeah, it was So, but yeah, your original question was how far back digitally? Probably 2 years, but we have records that go all the way back to 1953, and that's where Gene Kara got all his research on his book that he did. By going through those research files in the warehouse.
Indeed. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Again, phone lines have been packed up. One line open on the toll-free line now, 877-792-1090. More Pat McDonell from Western Outdoor News, and we return with Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
The Sport Fishing Association of California is taking a leadership role to broaden the fishing opportunities for Southern California anglers. And Saturday, June 11th, Pete Gray will be traveling to Ensenada, Mexico with the president of SAC, Captain Ken Franke, and his staff to host a very important live broadcast from Hotel Coral Resort in Ensenada. The broadcast will feature some key personnel from Mexico Fisheries and help strengthen the ties with the sport fishing fleet in Southern California and Mexico. They will also discuss the great fishing opportunities available in Ensenada. SAC's mission is to promote tourism through marine recreation and educational activities while protecting ocean resources. By working together with Mexico, we can show our care for the resources, both at home and across the border, and our desire to take an active role to help protect the future of our fisheries. So mark your calendar for Saturday, June 11th, a very special live broadcast from Ensenada, Mexico, with the Sport Fishing Association of California. Check CaliforniaSportFishing.org for more information.
Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
Hey, and let's talk about a great place where the fishing is always wide open, and that's Point Loma Seafoods, right next to the San Diego Landings in Point Loma. You missed it when you were in Hawaii.
What did I miss?
Harpoon swordfish.
The
first of the season, and I'm telling you, it was the most delicious thing you've ever eaten, melt in your mouth, swordfish. They have it. It's the season, so they're going to have it. And they always get the freshest thing in town at Point Loma Seafood.
Guys do a really good job updating their Facebook page, letting you know when exciting stuff like that comes in, because I saw it. Thousands of miles away, I saw the beautiful loins inside the showcase there. Yeah. Point Loma Seafoods does it so good. The new thing I'm on, which they don't do all the time, and again, you can check their Facebook page or call them a lot of times on the weekends, they've been making fresh poke. Oh, my God, yeah. Dude, it is so good.
Oh, they're fresh poke.
Little thing of poke and those house-made tortilla chips from Point Loma Seafoods. All time.
Yeah, there you go. There's so many choices, and if you want dinner tonight or, fresh everything, it's amazing the quantity and quality of the fish that they have this time of the year at Point Loma Seafood. Best thing is just stop by right next to the San Diego and Landings in Point Loma, grab some lunch, grab some dinner, Point Loma Seafoods.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
It's time to get excited about fishing, and Point Loma Sport Fishing has everything you'll need. They offer half-day and three-quarter-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit their website at pointlomasportfishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627.
For East Cape Fishing, Jen Wren is known as the best. This is Mark Rayer. Great service, top quality equipment, including all accurate reels, CalStar rods, and Cimarron electronics, has put my immaculately maintained twin-engine cruisers in a class of their own. For memories of a lifetime, just bring your hat and sunglasses, and we'll provide a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Our calendar's filling fast, so don't miss out. For packages, 2 live webcams, a weekly fishery report, and more, check out TeamJenWren.com. We pick up at all East Cape resorts, so let's go fishing.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right, phones are packed. They want to talk to Pat, but let's go to Alaska first,
I'm ready, man.
where we'll be in just a few weeks at Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Good morning, Seth Bone.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hi, Seth.
Good morning.
Seth, I was doing the numbers, and we were getting the dates for our next year's tournament. That, as you know, if you want to go to Kingfisher with us, you got to book a year in advance. It always fills up. Next year is 20 years at Kingfisher.
Oh, wow.
You believe that?
It doesn't seem that long, Pete. I don't know where the time went.
Yeah, I know, Seth. But you know what? We both look so much younger than we did 20 years ago, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no kidding. But I'll tell you what, I've been hearing reports from people coming back from Kingfisher, and I guess the fishing has been off the charts this year.
It has. It's been outstanding. The king salmon abundance index is up again this year to historical highs, and we're getting a 2 king per day limit in May and June, which is really nice, and it's so easily attainable. I mean, it's almost ridiculous a lot of the mornings.
How fast is Ricky going to get his limit so he can go hound it?
Yeah, I don't even know if Simon's going to have to slow down the boat. You know, they might just sort of cruise over the salmon grounds at 24 knots, and Ricky will just kind of scoop his out with the net, and they can just head right out to the halibut spot.
We could slow down to an idle. That'd be fine.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not asking too much. Idle would be perfectly fine. Oh, we can't wait, Seth.
Yeah. So that's now. What happened? Just at that time? It's just a year that there's just huge abundance, huh?
Yeah, it is. You know, it's the third year in a row now that we've had a high abundance number and the 2 kings per day in May and June, which is just really nice. We're just fortunate. I was kind of surprised. I thought, boy, we've been lucky 2 years in a row. What are the chances? And then it came out again, and they're just sick out there. It's they're shallow, they're deep, they're in close, they're out far. There's just lots and lots of king salmon out there.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable how good the fishing is at Kingfisher. Pat, you've been there.
I've been there about, I don't know, Seth, how many times is it? About 12, maybe? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe more. I was there when he and Heath had 2 boats. They were buying the lodge. He says, let me show you this house that we bought up on the hill and before we get on the plane. And it was when we had Buddy the Eagle, and that was at the Fred Hall show back when they were just 2 kids out of college, and Mom was making the lunches, and we were staying at the Westmark. So, yeah, we go back a ways, and it's a big operation now, but it's run like a friendly situation. Everybody loves the place, and I'm going back, and Western Outdoor News is doing the trip again. I'm taking 15 people there in September, right? September?
Late August.
Late August.
Ooh,
late
silver
August.
Time.
Yeah. So we'll be
silvers,
a smattering of kings, and really good. And so hopefully I'll be fishing with Clinton. Is Clinton still using that surfboard I gave him up there on the big waves up there?
Yeah, sure he is.
Yeah, he sends me some pictures occasionally, and so we always have a great time up there. It just feels like family whenever we go up.
And that's the thing about Kingfisher is the lodge is beautiful, the food is amazing. And I don't know how you do it year after year, Seth, the efficiency of everything you do from pick up at the airport to the fishing groups to the processing. The processing is beyond incredible. It's the amount of fish that you process there, and every single piece is just done to perfection. It's a great operation. You keep the price down, make it reasonable. What about availability for this year? I know you've become so popular that there's very little availability for this year.
Well, yeah, we're pretty booked for this season, although we do have a trip left open the first part of September, and it's up on our website, and that's kind of the last trip we have open, which is a great time to come. It's really good for silvers, halibut, lings, still a few kings around. It's a great time to come up, and it's kind of the last trip that we have some spots on, and I imagine it'll be sold out here in the next few weeks or so. But yeah, we're stoked. It's been a great season. We're 2 weeks into it, and it's been outstanding. We're sure looking forward to having you guys up here in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, it's our Father's Day special. We leave on Father's Day, and same thing for 2017 Father's Day special. You want to treat Dad to something really special? Book the 2017 trip to Kingfisher Charters with Let's Talk Hookup next Father's Day. What are the dates again, Seth?
For next summer, it is June 18th through 22nd.
Okay, yeah. And how do we book a trip if we want to come in that late September or book a trip for next year with Kingfisher?
Go to our website. It's kingfishercharters.com. We also have a link right on the Let's Talk Hookup website, or give us a call at 800-727-6136.
Yeah, you go to the front page of our website, you click on the Kingfisher Charters banner, it'll take you right to their great website. And I'm telling you what, I'm just so excited about coming up this year. And I love the Kingfisher. I know Ricky gets to know it, but to hear the abundance of the Kings, it's going to be where we're going to be with Heath, and we're just going to be catching up.
I just can't wait, and the staff is so friendly. It's like seeing old friends every year. I'm the same. Just can't wait, Seth. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, good times. And the other thing, too, I want to mention is now that there's competition flying into Sitka, airfares have come way down,
sir.
Right, Seth?
Yeah, it's been nice having both Delta and Alaska flying in here. For the last couple seasons, the airfares are, a lot of them are lower than I'd ever thought we'd ever see again. And so we'll, hopefully that continues. It's been really nice.
Yeah, competition does something, right, Pat?
Oh, it sure does. Yeah, I think we got I got $500 flight for our guys. So yeah, but I want to tell you, hey Seth, I'm gonna more of a relaxed trip this year. I'm not going to do anything crazy like climb the mountain this year. But yeah, I don't have anything to prove. On my hip, I'm feeling good, and but I had 2 hip surgeries, and so I went up there last year and. Chris Wheaton, my buddy, I hiked up the top of the damn mountain, the volcanic mountain. What's it called? Mount Edgecombe or
Edgecombe? Yeah.
Edgecombe.
And then did you just set on tires on fire? So
no, I was looking for the tires they did on April Fool's Day about 20 years ago, and it was a good story. But it was it's an awesome hike, and not many people can do it because of the weather availability and everything else. So it was such a great experience. But what I want to say is there's a lot to do in Sitka. Besides fishing, so if you come up a couple extra days, it's just incredible.
No, it is. It's a great city.
I mean, there
are a lot of other things. There's freshwater opportunities. There's all kinds of different.
Yeah,
things
I did a float plane trip out of there. I did the 14-mile hike last year, which I don't highly recommend for a lot of people. But that's like please don't recommend people doing that. I came out of that unscathed.
Yeah, did you see any bears?
No bears, but we took a gun. We took Seth.
That's a good idea.
Seth loaded us up with pepper spray and a large handgun, which we had to haul up the mountain.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience, and all of Sitka is a great experience. So I highly recommend it.
Seth, keep up the great work there at Kingfisher Charters. Once again, kingfishercharters.com. Link it right on the front page of the Let's Talk Hookup website on their banner, and we'll see you in Sitka in a few weeks, Seth.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, looking
can't
forward
wait,
to
Seth.
it. Thanks
See you soon.
A lot for the call this morning. That's so awesome. Are you looking forward to that or what?
Oh, my God, dude, I can't wait.
So much fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. The thing that's so cool about that trip is there's a great group of people, and it's the perfect mix of fun fishing, it's easy fishing, and then all the camaraderie afterwards. Everybody eats dinner in the lodge, and you come back to the room, and you have a cocktail, and you talk about how good the fishing was, and you give Gary a hard time because he caught a bigger fish than you did, and it's just the whole thing. I can't wait. I get to take Dad every year. I cannot wait for this.
Of course, last year Gary White caught that 400-pounder with you. I mean, it's going to be hard to top that.
If anybody can do it, it's him.
It's good.
No doubt.
Gary.
Gary gets the big one.
And we have kind of a rough deal here because a week from today is our Rancho Leonero 20th anniversary tournament. We're going to be of course, Encinitas Ford next Saturday. And then Sunday, do the show and then get on Alaska Airlines and fly right to Cabo and head and join the group that actually starts the tournament on Saturday, a week from today, at Rancho Leonero. John Ireland put together the most awesome T-shirt you've ever seen for the 20th anniversary. Everybody that's in the tournament is going to get one of these T-shirts. It's amazing. It's really, really fun. And
that place
always
awesome.
A great tournament. And Sport Fishing Financial and Statewide Stripes are sponsoring largest tuna, largest dorado, or wahoo for $500 each. And we're going to have a side Calcutta, lots of prizes, including a trip to Rancho Leonero for the return. So that's next Saturday. Then home for a week, and then we fly to Sitka to go to Kingfisher Charters. It's a rough June.
We're on it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Indeed. Let's go ahead and jump into the phones.
You forgot skiff fishing every single day in
between.
Yeah,
in between. Yeah. Go chasing bluefin.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, the phones are packed up. We do have a toll-free line open if you want to get through. It's 877-792-1090. Let's talk to John, who's calling us from Lakeside this morning. Hi, John. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, gentlemen. Great show and great paper.
Thank you.
John.
My question for Pat is, if there's some late-breaking information, like on a Saturday evening of some big 100-pound bluefin, is that able to make it on the digital paper, or is the digital paper and the print identical?
Identical. So anything you turn in, whether it's a landing or you turn into Western Outdoor News, there's a email address there, oneeditors.com. Just fire it to us, and we will we'll post it.
But that being said, if things happen on Saturday, they make it into that week's paper. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, stuff happens on Sunday night, on Monday morning, and we'll put it in the paper.
You can get it in there.
I mean, no, the paper really doesn't go out until I've torn up pages all the way up until 2:00 in the afternoon, an hour before it goes to print.
Really?
So digitally, you can do anything with that paper,
yeah.
and it drives production crazy when I say, okay, that feature's not going to go this week. We're going to put in these reports, or this first-person report came in, or I need to expand Bob Banyan's deal, the private boater. And then Merritt got a really good story from Ventura, the squid's going off, so let's take that out and we'll put this in. And so you try to make it.
Goes,
yeah, they do. They're great. So they know me, but they also know it's important that the readers get the latest information we can possibly get. Yeah. So to answer your question is, we don't like to get stuff late Monday, but we'll put it in.
It does happen.
Yeah. Well, sure.
For the late breaking news, that's why you got to have a subscription not only to Western Outdoor News but also fishdope.com, because that'll update you on the hour when things are breaking and you go and look at things there. So fun stuff. And Pat, I can't imagine how pissed off your production group is going to be this summer.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, it's going to be something for sure. Hey, John, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Tommy in La Jolla, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. What's up, Tommy?
Good morning,
Yo,
Tommy. Tommy left us.
Yeah, looks like we might have Tommy. So then how about we talk to Jack, calling us from San Diego. Hi, Jack. Welcome to the show.
Hi. How you guys doing? I have a question about fishing in Mexico.
All right.
Hey.
I just bought a boat, and we're trying to get the permits and to see what's required now in Mexico. Things have changed over the years, so I'd like to know exactly what I need to fish in Mexico.
Rick, you deal with this every day.
I do, and where I send most everybody is to the SACS website, CaliforniaSportFishing.org. It's the website for Sport Fishing Association of California. They did a really nice job of just spelling out in plain English, very easy to follow. These are what are required, so you can read it written in English. You need this, you need that, you need the other. Now click here to obtain that permit and pay the fees. And essentially what you need, Jack, is if you're going to be fishing within 12 miles of the coast, which most of us are going to be this year, you first need to have your passport, and then you need to have a Mexican fishing license.
Or passport card.
Or passport card, good call. Yeah. In your Mexican fishing license, which has always been required. The things that are slightly more recent that you need to obtain are the FMM, which is a tourist visa, and you can purchase that, again, on the CaliforniaSportFishing.org website, or you can actually link to it from their website, which is what I do. And then the other thing that is lesser talked about and, to be completely honest, lesser asked for, but it is required, and if you have a particular person asking you for your permit thing, is the temporary importation permit. And
$50 for 10 years.
Exactly. And again, all of that is obtained through the CaliforniaSportFishing.org website. I think that's the easiest one to follow. That's what I use. And people ask me all the time,
Yeah, absolutely. That's Well, I went down to the corral and they took me over to the commandant or whatever over there, the harbor office, and I had to get all that. I had everything except for one thing, and that was the temporary importation, where they match up the engines with the boat.
Right.
And you get this nice, beautiful golden embossed thing. It's good for 10 years, and you put it in your boat and keep it in your boat.
Don't lose it. Make a copy. Leave it in a different location, because if you lose that thing, you are messed up.
Right. So,
I'll use another word, but you're messed up. So one other thing I was going to comment about after crossing the border last Friday with Cedros Tackle and Jeff, if you are crossing the border by card and you have a passport card and everybody in your car has a passport card or global entry, you can use the Ready Lane, which is way faster than crossing the border than just using a passport. So get that passport card.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I keep my passport card in there. One, it's not a bad thing to have a second form of ID, but just I've always got it with me. If we find out, fish are biting at the islands, we're going to run out there this afternoon. You've always got it. You don't have to worry about losing your passport or getting it wet on the boat. The card stays in my wallet all the time, and it's good for what you need.
Jack, good question. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
How about we jump back in, talk to Doug, calling us from Montebello this morning. Hi, Doug. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
I got two comments here. At least one comment. Any chance of CCA making a big push on the overturn the Marine Pact, those guys fighting seals, and then, or Matt McDonell, what's the hardest story you ever wrote for the newspaper?
I can tell you I sit on the CCA board, and we had a board meeting this week. That's not on the agenda because it'll never happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just the thing.
It's just something we're going to have to deal with for the rest of our fishing days is sea lions.
Yeah. Hardest story I've ever written? Hardest story. Well, I mean, covering the MLPA was kind of a pain in the butt, and that was an ongoing year-long. Rich did a lot of that. Rich Holland did a lot of that work. I would say the most rewarding but hardest story that I had to work on was the Eric, the sinking of the Eric.
Yeah.
There was a fort of the.
And you did such a.
And I did it over a year or so. When they finally found the boat, then I did another 2-part series on that, on finding the boat and how they did it, and might make a good book someday.
Is that available at Archive? Is it recent enough, that article, that you can get it from an archive?
I'm not sure. It might be 2 years. 2 years. That might be on the edge right there. Yeah, I have. Yeah. So no, that was probably the most difficult because the information came, in pieces. I have to describe how it happened, but it was a phone call from a guy who knew a guy who lived. And he went to the tuna tournament, and I knew him, and so I called him up, and his daughter answered, and he had just gotten back after getting across the back over the border, and he started the process of giving me the information about what really happened, and then it developed into a hell of a story because of other phone calls, and I called other people, and I finally figured out exactly what had happened and how the boat sank, and then of course the story about finding that boat. Took an entire year, and the story about how the son-in-law found the boat, the stepson rather, found the boat through 3 or 4 trips down there.
Wow.
And how they found it. It was a good story. That was probably of all stories that I've done over the new thing, perhaps the most difficult, but also the most rewarding.
Indeed. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Just about a minute left for Wade in Camarillo. Wade?
Good morning, guys.
Hi, Wade.
Long-time listener, first-time caller, and I'm calling because you've got Pat there sitting next to you.
Very good.
Quick questions for Pat. Was Ray Cannon an early contributor to Western Outdoors and Western Outdoor News? And also, I'm looking at the book, the copy that I have, and the supervising editor is Jack McDowell. Any relation?
No. Pat McDonell is that's my surname. But no Jack McDowell. I don't know. It goes way back. Now Ray Cannon, of course, was before my time. Ray Cannon was the first. He and his longtime companion would go down into Baja and write the stories and then send them up somehow. I don't know, by donkey, carrier pigeon back then. And then she would rewrite them and then send them into Western Outdoor News weekly. And so he was the first Baja columnist for the newspaper. And then he was succeeded by Tom Miller, and then we had a few others, and then we had Fred Hochter. But no, he was the original Baja. We didn't have any fishing reports. We didn't start fishing reports until I started them right around when Fred Hochter was writing the column after Tom Miller retired. And And so then I had I got tired of dealing with it, and so I told Fred to start getting fishing reports, and then we did them through.
That's it.
That was before digital, before cell phones. So we were getting them any which way we could. So, but it was the original reporter and columnist was Ray Cannon, and of course he wrote the book about
great book.
Just looking at all the unique places down there, and you can still see his columns.
Unforgettable Theo Cortez.
You can still see his columns posted in little bars down there. Like the cutouts of the paper.
It's amazing. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. I want to remind you, next Saturday, June the 4th, Encinitas Ford. Be sure to mark your calendar. If you missed it earlier, we're going to have all the great prizes to give away, including that trip to Katmai Lodge that you're going to be able to have the first chance to enter and eligible. The Shimano casting contest will be there. Ryan Christensen will be running that, and the Prize Cowboy will be there giving away a bunch of prizes. So next Saturday, 7 and 9 a.m. with Mark Wheeler at Encinitas Ford in Encinitas.
All right, hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's got a brand new pair of Maui Gyms. We got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Mighty 1090.
Get it all at Dana Landing in Mission Bay. It's truly the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Looking for a fishing charter? Dana Landing had you covered with several boats, including the new Blackjack, perfect for 2 to 4 anglers, and the Impulse that will carry up to 6 anglers in comfort and style. Dana Landing has a huge tackle shop with everything you need to go fish bay bass, tuna, or marlin, plus expert anglers on staff to help. They even have Mexican and California fishing licenses and reel repair. The deli at Dana Landing is a local's favorite with all the food, ice, and beverages you need. When it comes to freshwater tackle, East County Bait and Tackle is the spot for a great day on the lake. The ultimate in rods and reels, the latest freshwater lures and live bait. ECBT has a staff second to none when it comes to sharing their passion for fishing. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview in Lakeside, and Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check DanaLanding.com for more details.
For over 5 decades, Lee Palm Sport Fishing has set the standard in long-range fishing that they pioneered long ago. The Red Rooster 3 sets a new standard of excellence. The Red Rooster 3 is one of the most modern, quiet, and fastest long-range vessels in the fleet. They have handpicked the finest crew to make your trip a memorable one. The Red Rooster 3 offers trips from 3 to 18 days and runs year-round to the best fishing spots on the planet. Ride the Red Rooster 3 once, and you'll be back again. Call the Red Rooster 3 at 619-224-3857 or see them on the web at redrooster3.com. With Winn fishing rod grips, feeling is believing. Winn's superior polymer grip technology puts control and comfort literally in the angler's hand. Experience Winn's tacky sure grip security in wet, dry, cold, or hot conditions. Winn makes grips for all types of fishing rods. Whether building a new rod or overwrapping your current cork or EVA, you will feel the Winn grip difference. Check WinnGripsFishing.com to learn more or find a dealer. Winn fishing rod grips. Feeling is believing. If you've heard the advice Scott Sherman from Fifth Avenue Insurance has given anglers over the past couple of years, you know there is much more to your boat insurance than just a low rate. Well, Fifth Avenue Insurance can not only find you the lowest rates on your boat insurance, they also make sure the coverage you get meets all your needs. What if you had an accident with the boat and found out you didn't have proper coverage? Well, that just won't happen when you insure with Fifth Avenue Insurance. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Fifth Avenue Insurance, 619-640-3130, or check the number 5 THAVEINS.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh,
right. San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Right, the big winner of those Maui Jim Bamboo Forest with the HT lens is going to Mike in Rosemead. Mike, congratulations. Not a better pair of glasses on the water than those brand new Maui Jims.
You're spoiled now.
Yeah,
Maui
no doubt.
Jims, for sure. Hey, Pat, great to have you on the
awesome
show, Western Outdoor News. Tell us about the tournaments again, and you have some shout-outs, too.
Well, we got the San Diego Offshore Jackpot coming up June 30th, but we're fishing July 1st out of H&M Landing. 12 boats, 300 anglers, going to be fun. We got the challenge coming up in about 3 or 4 weeks. We've got a 10-week derby coming up for big fish, and you can get all the information there on WNBigFish.com. We've got 20 people signed up. Rick's already signed up.
Like
$10 a species, 6 species. About $5,000 for the 6 major winners and a bunch of other weekly winners. So a lot of fun there. Got Cabo Tuna Jackpot coming up. That's in November, and so I'm going down in a couple weeks and going to deal with that, and going to go fishing with Renegade Mike. Going to have some fun down there, do a little fishing, and have some meetings. And that tournament is just absolutely phenomenal in 18th year. And of course, got to say a shout out to my good buddy, my good fishing buddy, Don Southern, the boys up there in Huntington Beach.
The defending champion.
The Team Baracho guys. So Don
and where was he this morning? I don't know.
He's probably enjoying a Bloody Mary somewhere.
Maybe somewhere. You think?
I bet that's pretty much
he's having breakfast at Lucci's and having a Bloody Mary, I'm
there
sure.
You go.
So.
All right.
Pat, great to have you on the show. We sure appreciate it. Look forward to having you back. Looking forward to having you back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Doug Kern. You know him?
I do know him.
Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Going to be right here in the studio talking tackle and talking bluefin and yellowfin and more.
Always fun.
Right here on 1090 AM, the mighty 1090. We'll see you then.